I
Although they
mean,
could run it in the mid.
Venge can be mid, Venge can be
Yeah.
off lane, you know, Vengeful can go anywhere. That's the thing. You don't really care too much. Most likely, I think this Vengeful should be
10
position
seconds
3.
remaining.
You can still put her on 4. The thing is, Batrider is already
5 seconds
softly
remaining.
countered, I would say, by Vengeful Spirit, because in the lane, he can still do whatever he wants to versus these heroes. But off the lane, the lasso is counterable by Vengeful Spirit's swap. So it's not a free Batrider game.
No, and because you got double swap charges, it's not just the Batrider that can get screwed over in the fights, it's the Witch Doctor as well. So a
Mm.
lot of potential damage for bait may be lacking. Is that what you want me to see the final pick? It's just something that gives you some solid damage that isn't countered by, well, Venge alone or just one hero in particular.
I just like when you see this draft from Bait, they just need their position 1. They need their true win condition position 1 as their last pick, and it also has to fill in some other boxes. When you look at their draft as 4 heroes and you disregard Vikings, they have pretty much everything. You have the damage from Witch Doctor and his ulti plus
Radiant
Maledict is
team
pretty
ban.
strong. You have the catch from Bat. You have the Shaker to counter initiate or initiate, and you have that Prophet to push and take objectives. So overall, their draft isn't really lacking way too much. It's all about how it matches up versus this high tempo of a lineup that Viking GG have got going for themselves.
Oh, we actually,
Invoker.
hmm. At this stage, does it feel like it's
10
a solid
seconds
pick? 'Cause you
remaining.
mentioned already the DP could be flexed elsewhere, but I'd imagine Bait want to
5
keep that in the
seconds
mid and then give
remaining.
Chrysalis the final pick.
Hmm.
Unless I think we've
I'm
seen, was
not
it?
sure. I'm thinking about it. I'm really thinking
Yeah,
about it. I the thing is that Prophet can be mid,
Dire
Batrider can
team
be
ban.
mid. Because you have this Shaker. Shaker opens up both of these heroes on the offlane just the same. That Prophet in some other situation might not be a good offlane hero for you. But when you have an Earthshaker in your lineup, then suddenly it's a really good offlaner. Even versus something like a Luna plus Shen, doesn't matter. The question is, which one of these two heroes does Dandy
10
feel
seconds
better on
remaining.
versus Invoker? Now, Bat can crush him, but if Invoker goes Quas
5
Vex and uses
seconds
Tornado
remaining.
EMP every time you try and go on him, you kind of fail a couple of those first attempts on a dive, and it just isn't that great if you're not pressuring constantly as a Bat.
I
Um,
guess my other thought was whether Bait have been practicing POS one DP because I know another CIS
mm.
team that loves doing that, which is BP Prodigy. Epic
Is
Kid
this
runs
though
it
a
a lot.
CIS stream team? You have
It's no, it's
like,
majority CIS.
is
There's
it?
two Belarusians, a Ukrainian, and then I think
Two
it's a
Belarusians.
German and
Oh,
a Dutch.
yeah,
Dire
Fishman
team
and
pick.
Last Hero, I suppose, are
Hmm.
Belarus, right? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. The Broodmother ban from Viking GG. They were actually the ones that picked it earlier, so interesting. They ban it out. They don't want to be cheesed. I can respect that. I can respect the possible position. Last pick Brood. You can always just ban that out, and you won't be
10
wrong.
seconds remaining. Pick.
Yeah, and I like the LC ban that comes out
Tusk.
from Bait. So it's gonna be Tusk from Viking to round it up. They've actually got a lot of ways of saving this Luna now. Swap,
Yeah,
snowball, heals.
that should be your task plus Vengeful on the offlane as well. I believe so, at least. With most likely Vengeful being your position 3. But I did see Viking
10
roll a
seconds
position 5
remaining.
Vengeful as well. They played
Mm.
position 5 Venge. So maybe this is a Chen
5
3.
seconds
That's
remaining.
also a possibility. They could offlane the Chen and Tusk can be a 4 to protect him there. Yeah, and it's
This
not a bad lane too.
It could be a Tusk free as well, right? Like we've seen a few teams. I know OG especially
Yeah,
runs mid one Tusk a lot. So
Tusk
there's a
tree
lot of
is also
flex.
it's also a possibility for them. Now the question for Bait is, what do they want to end this up with as a core, as a carry? If you just think about the Luna and how she works, any built-in BKB is kind of fine. Your Nyxes and whatnot that can get close and personal with her and not care about the Eclipse. That's usually the way to go, but they go for a
Phantoms and
PL
Choose your
instead.
hero.
It
Mm.
worked well for them yesterday. I mean, that was the game where they almost actually toppled Nigma. So definitely one of Chrysalis's comfort heroes. Does it fit well in the draft? Do you like it in this type of game?
It it has its positives and negatives, I would say. I think it's definitely in their comfort zone. It's the last pick, this win condition that they needed. My problem with PL come from the fact that there is Vengeful Luna Chen. They will be pushing very fast, very early. They don't really have any true counters to the PL, your big Ember Spirits or something like that, so that's a positive. The negative is you're on a timer, and how much will this team be able to stall the game for this PL to actually come online? Because Luna, if he builds the same way everyone is right now, Shad will be pushing your high ground very early on.
Yeah, and there's no end to the ability to get pulled up early and go for it, right? With a Chen, with Avenge, Invoker, you could go. I don't think we see the Quas Wex build too much anymore, right? It's more about the Exhort because I think the best way I've heard it summarized is Quas Wex build kind of gets countered by Wand right now in the Invoker. So
Mm.
definitely a lot
I'm,
of
I'm
potential
not.
for them
I'm
to
not
pull up
sure.
early.
We'll see. I'm not sure. I think Waswax is fine here as well. Just
Mm.
having Tornado and EMP is fine for me. It dishes out, gives them a lot of control, and he's gonna be in the game very early. And if he goes for that Exort normal build, then he comes online a little bit late. Most likely, what's gonna happen is we'll see that normal mix that everyone goes.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say like the complete commitment to Quas Wex has kind of died off, right? Because
Mhm.
you just kind of peak around the 20-minute mark, and then Invoker, weirdly enough, doesn't feel like much of a hero anymore.
Are you okay?
Lane wise, we actually might see a trial lane start from Viking. It makes sense as well. These heroes are pretty strong together, although I'd expect them, if anything, to play around the Luna. This should just be
KP,
first blood.
can I control the camera here, or is it just Rob that's controlling now?
I'm pretty
Am
sure
I?
Rob has control.
So I'm not unable
But
to
you can
click on.
look however you want. You could literally just click on the center of the map where the river is, let go of your mouse and keyboard, and talk
No,
about
because
Dota.
I don't have the options. I don't have that option to free. I don't have a free cam option. That's what
Oh,
I
is
mean.
someone else controlling your camera?
Yeah. It's him controlling my camera. That's why.
Oh man, I wish I had that.
Okay, I'll try
Did
to.
you click? Did you click on the little
I'll,
camera or something?
I'll just try to reconnect. I think it's because I was actually spectating him the last game. I was watching him with Cinderan and Sunsfan.
Ah,
So maybe
and
that's
you
the
were
30
reason.
such a big
seconds to
fan
battle.
after that you subscribed to Rob's life. Now you follow
Okay.
him wherever he goes. You see everything he does.
Okay, Rob, I'm following every move you do, and I can't see anything else. So you better do a good job.
This is the moment where Liz just goes, "Yo, Rob, what's your MMR?" He hears a number he doesn't like. Goes, "Oh God, we're gonna be looking at all the wrong things." Triple
I
digits.
believe in
Woo.
him.
Battle
Damn.
begins.
All right, that's not too bad. So yeah, at the start of the lanes, they did actually aggress to force Chrysalis to level the Doppelganger at level 1. But on the flip side, that does mean the Tusk has the Ice Shards instead of having something a bit more aggressive.
I'm restarting those. Screw this.
All right, solo cast, guys. Don't worry. Top tier UK Dota analyst here to give you the inside scoops. As you can see, there's a DP and an Evoker in the mid lane. That's a mid matchup. And then top, there's a Venge and a. I'm gonna stop this now. We'll get to some.
Now you
serious
can
analysis.
just tell us about the lanes, who's going where, and how did they end up.
So top is going to be the Venge plus Luna versus the Shaker and Bat, but I don't feel like you're going to play this lane directly as bait, right? You might just start doing a bit of creep skipping as the Bat, because Shaker's going to roam around a lot anyway.
I finally have my controls. Feels good, man.
Nice.
Yeah, so Shaker probably for the beginning on the top lane is just blocking the camps, and making sure that they can even dive here. It's not a bad lane for Shaker plus Bat at all, on the top lane at least. I think they have kill potential.
That's true. Like, if you catch them out of position, especially Celery can go down at the early stages of the game. Does it change once they get a few levels? Because both these heroes have really good stat gains, so the right clicks do start to hurt a lot.
No, I think it's still very good for Shaker and Bat. It all depends on who gets that level 3 first, though, and if they maybe they already started the sticks. Yeah, that's very smart. I'm not the biggest fan of the fact that they're playing Vengeance 5, but there are teams that still do it, and it's fine. I guess it's fine because Chen is going to be very active very early on. That Dominator comes so fast when you're offlane.
I guess the way to look at it is Chen and Venge, like the way you build when you play the POS 3 is very similar, right? So the difference there is maybe what lane combos are stronger,
Bottom lane,
and would it
Fishman.
be better for Fishman to just die? First blood drawn, And Chrysalis with his doppelganger will just try and ward it off.
First conversion.
Yeah, we see the potency coming out already. I guess actually the other point as well here is if you relegate the Venge to the 5, then you can fully play Venge for the sacrificial role with swaps. Whereas if you're
Exactly,
3,
exactly.
you're
That's
worried.
that's a very good point. That's what I was thinking during the draft as well. It's kind of stand back and swap if he's your support, right? 5 or 4. So it's pretty cool. In that way, it's pretty cool. And he will be building the same things like Chen. That's also a very good point that you made. You're an excellent analyst. I left you for 30 seconds.
Yeah, you left me and I kind of, I reflected upon Dota. I noticed that these
Took
guys are
over.
high MMR. I just checked all their starting items. I went, of course, that's where I've been going wrong. I got to stop building boots whenever I'm mid. Actually, that's
took
not
off
always
your
true.
training wheels and you just, you can ride it yourself.
I'm just going to
Anyway.
leave this game now and lose 5 more games.
Mid lane, how is it going? Dandy is actually crushing Boom so far, but it's, I guess, to be expected because it is a Quaswex Invoker so far, and it looks like he is committing to the normal Quaswex build. He's going for the Vessel, and this is it. This is what they needed really from their mid lane. They needed this playmaking kind of Invoker. If they already
make him play
they
spot.
picked, yeah.
It's gone. Fishman down, and Aramis TP's away. Wow.
And the courier.
This is getting a little bit rough very quickly, Liz. Is it even possible to fight back against this lane at level 3 and beyond?
No, this lane is very difficult for Witch Doctor. You have to be like, honestly, Fishman just can't be caught. It's as simple as that. If you get hit by those ice shards, you die. They have tag team, they have a creep, and they have 2 of these guys hitting you with Blightstone and Orb of Venom. You're most certainly going to die. So if you're a Witch Doctor in a lane such as this one, you need to stand back, pull the small camp, or stay behind your PL, somewhere near to your tower.
Is under attack.
But on a bright side, for Bait, the top lane is being pressured. Viking GG's top lane is being pressured just as much. So it's kind of symmetrical here on the map.
Yeah, it's going to actually come down to this mid, right? Because you already mentioned the Spirit Vessel intentions coming out from Boom. But Dendi obviously has that early push potential, and they can easily unlock the game. Like, for example, Invoker rotates bot, DP rotates top. You can see these kind of mirrored movements that could easily net equal gains.
Yes and no. I don't think it breaks down completely on mid lane because of the fact that on one side you have a Shaker, position 4, and on another you have a Tusk. Tusk, all he requires really is levels. And in Invoker, he does not have any long cooldown spells. So you'll see the Tusk and Invoker just doing moves constantly. While Death Prophet and Shaker, one will be stuck on the lane, finding his gold for the dagger, and the other will be playing around the Exorcism, which has a really long cooldown. Because of that, I think that Viking GG in the mid game have an advantage, but we'll see how it plays out.
I mean, you were already painting a bleak picture for Viking, not Viking Bait there, but then you add in the fact there's a PL in this game, right? It's not a hero that's renowned for just being ready to go straight after the laning phase.
Of course, I'm painting it a little bit bleak, but I'm not saying that it's completely bad for Bait. Bottom lane and top lane.
Pretty bad for Fishman. They're just gonna rough him up and bring him down. At this point, I don't even know why he bothers putting Maledict on the Chen. He's got so much sustain, he doesn't even feel it.
Yeah, even with the Fairy Fire, he wasn't about to die there. Yeah, that wasn't that great. Like, trying to go for that kill on Toby just isn't realistic, really. Maybe if Tusk is... Maybe if you see Tusk on the top lane, right? And you know he TP'd there, then you can go.
Now Chrysalis is going to be forced back a little bit here. They got the shards through, though, and he might go down. If the cast bounces favorably, he could live. It's not looking too good right now. Aramis decides not to dive. It's not worth it.
Okay, so one good thing about dying as a Witch Doctor on this bottom lane is they're not using their cooldowns and their spells on the PL, right? So if you force them to use everything they've got on the Witch Doctor, they aren't killing the PL, and that's kind of fine. Top lane.
Celery's low. He won't quite tick out, but they do lose the Luna. The bigger kill is achieved by the side of Bait in the top lane. I don't think they'll be able to get more. They did force the Invoker all the way up here, though, so that's free space for Dendi on the mid lane.
Yeah, and that was the missed tornado as well. This is really bad for the Invoker. Now, I was talking about how he should rotate in the mid game with that turn. The mid game has pretty much already started for him. He needs to leave mid because DP is just crushing him. Then he is pretty much doubling his CS, and you need to make these moves worth it. You know, you need to make them worth your while. If you don't, suddenly you'll just be an Invoker with an urn. A position 4 Invoker would have just as much, you know, at this point. So.
I also love the timing of the pause straight afterwards. I was like, yeah, don't worry, Invoker's gonna yell out lag.
Dyer's middle tower is under attack.
But it looks like they'll have to recalibrate, be ready to go.
This is a good rotation. He has Invis, yeah.
And the cask, oh no, it works against him. The Maledict's going to come out as well. The Ice Shard's actually turned on a Fisherman. Now with the reinforcements coming in, but Shad's only level 4. Now they'll chase down Aramis after getting the kill on the Toby. It should be 2 dropping here. They do get the Witch Doctor in the end for the Chen army. But Tusk is also going to die. Now, can Dendi actually push in with this is the real question.
Poor Witch Doctor dying as well, you know, just the creeps taking care of him. That's just sad.
And look at the Chen army. They're not stopping the farm. They've got to keep it going. Like, okay, I might be dead, but this is what I got these minions for. They do all the work.
This is actually pretty good for Luna. I was worried. I thought that Shad just TP'd into his death, or that he won't be able to really farm here anymore because everyone rotated bottom. But this is pretty good for him. He's free. Batrider isn't pressuring him anymore, and he can help out this Chen, maybe even pressure the tier 1. So the early rotation, what, 7 minutes 30 seconds in towards bottom, is doing fine. But there is a Witch Doctor.
Dyer's top tower.
That's true, but they've got 3 heroes here. There's no exorcism, and now there's a movement on in Chrysalis. Can they get him low enough? Doppelganger away just in time, and Shad, he's going to be the victim because the Maledict ticks him out. Aramis trying to move away. We'll go for the TP out. No way to stop him from doing so. Well, you could just kill him. That works too.
Viking, I think this Batrider is just solving every issue that Bait had. I know he wasn't involved in this bottom lane at all in these last few fights, but it's because of him that Luna is bottom. And Invoker on the mid lane as well. Should be fine.
Yeah, he's able to move away. The Vigil wasn't on the mark to block him out.
Yeah, there was a dust. There was a dust on that Prophet, but then he realizes, nah, we're not killing him really.
Dyer's
Let's
middle
just
tower
let him
is
go.
under attack.
You know, I feel that's like the difference between supports with Dust and cores, right? The supports are always optimistic. They'll use the Dust like, yeah, we can chase him. The core is like, I don't know, that's money.
Dyer's
I'm losing
top
money
tower
right
is
there,
under
okay?
attack.
I need my next time.
That's 90 gold, man. I ain't, you know.
I ain't about that
to
life, okay?
yeah.
Back to creeps.
Unless it's a 100% kill, you know, with 1 HP, he's right next to you. No, don't use that.
How often do you have to beg your cores to come get a kill with you? It's like, please, they're right there. They'll die.
They did a really good job on the side of Viking when it comes to stacking, right? And because of that, Chen is level 7, Luna is 6, and they are pressuring bottom. They took that tier 1. Now, if you just look at the involvement, on the bottom lane there's like 4 heroes trying to push. On top lane, a solo Batrider has pretty much taken care of the tier 1. So,
Dyer's top
because
tower
of that,
is under attack.
higher levels in the next couple of minutes. Can they abuse that or not?
Radiant's
We'll
bottom
see.
tower is under attack.
No,
Dyer's
it's just going to be a matter
structures
if they can
are
push the
fortified.
towers down, maybe shrink the map, punish Viking for the stacking like this. But we mentioned it already, right? The only way you're really pushing into towers on the side of Bait is off the back of very large cooldowns. So you are going to need Last Hero to be this strong. He's going to have to do a lot of heavy carrying in the next few minutes.
One good thing that they did do on the side of Bait is they gave a ton of space for 5-up. If you look at him, he's been chilling on the mid lane for the last 5 minutes more or less, while Dandy has been rotating towards bottom and in the jungle almost all the time. And because of that, the Shaker, he has almost 1400 gold 11 minutes in. He's not too far away from that dagger.
I mean, at this rate, he'll surpass Boo. You know, that Invoker suffered a lot on the mid lane. Celery, they're trying to make a move or make his way up. Aramis will not be so lucky as Fishman. He finds vengeance upon the offlaner combo as he finally has his level 6.
On the position 4, right? The
offlane combo though, right? Like let's be honest, right? Which one are you more mad at in that situation if you're the 5? Is it the Tusk or the Chen that has been causing all these deaths for you?
Yeah,
It's
you're
always
not
those ice
mad at
shots.
anyone. It's all peace, love, and understanding. Why does it always have to be hate with you, KP? Come on, man.
Because you gotta
I know you're
channel your
British.
energy.
I know you're British, and it's always raining there, and you're in a bad mood. But not
You know,
everyone is like that. Come on.
You paint me like a Sith Lord and yourself like Obi-Wan, but secretly I think you're Jar Jar Binks. All right.
Jar Jar Binks. Sure.
You're the true Sith Lord. You know, you've heard the conspiracies, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It definitely makes the original the
Oh,
first
Shaker.
3 movies
He's a bit.
worth watching. He's a bit screwed, I think is the way. Or is he? Dendy coming in. But it's Noble out. Boom does cover the tornado. If they do not get a kill off this, it is not going to be worthwhile. Aramis might tick out. He's gone to the Maledict.
He's
But
gone.
no XP for Dendy.
Yeah, he's gone. But that exorcism is well used. You save the Shaker, and you can perhaps even pressure the tier 1 here. We'll see though. It is a
They
bit
got a glyph,
greedy.
though.
Shen is around. Yeah.
It's a little bit of a tough one. What you are at least doing is, if you can see it from Viking, right? All their heroes are once again grouped together. Whereas Chrysalis, bot lane just casually farming.
I have to say that Dandy with this Death Prophet has done way more work than the Invoker has, and I would argue that Invoker usually is more of a playmaker at this point. It's a bit easier for him to rotate, get kills, get stuff done. But
gonna
so far,
try.
Dandy has been the one on point.
They're smoked right now. You can tell they know that 5-up is so close to having this Blink Dagger. They want to try and eliminate some big target, and they're looking towards PL. Doppelganger down. Christmas tries to make his escape. Runs straight past Toby. The other side of the fight where they're maybe not looking, but Luna is there to hit him up the Lucent Beam. 5-up. It's the new target. Down to half HP. The last is going to come out. Dragging Toby in right now. No Holy Persuasion for 20 seconds. Or Hand of God, rather. So they'll be able to pick him off. The Chen army is going to be chased down a little bit. In the meantime, Vengeance also going to fall on the other side of Fishman. But looks like the Chen creeps will at least not be victim here.
Yeah. Then they tried to go for that dominated creep, you know, the one that gives more gold, but he didn't get to 5-up.
Oh, he's going down.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I know he really wants that Blink Dagger, Liz, but sometimes you just got to know when to not hit the creep.
Yeah, they pretty much just stuck around a bit longer than he expected. The shards were on point. I think what really went bad for Viking in that last fight is the fact that they found PL first. Dandy.
No, so Nair's going to come out onto the bat ride here. Last hero trying to move away. He's going to let of all of his mana though, so not able to really do anything to anyone just yet. Malik's going to come out to Aramis. He is far out though, so Viking, while they do get the entire attention of bait, looks like they'll get mostly out. They're going to lose the domed up creep though, one of Chen's army. In fact, he's a few short of actually having a cadet now. Dendy?
He's fine. I'm
fine.
not sure what the plan there was. He uses Vessel on him, wastes pretty much a waste of a Vessel charge. Tusk was behind him, but he couldn't really go in. That would be death sentence. Shaker is about to have his dagger, by the way. It should be flying over to him. It's a very early Blink Dagger. Truth be told, he only has Boots of Speed and Magic Stick. Besides that, it's obviously something that helped out because he did get an Arcane Ring. That's so
It's
good.
the dream. It is the dream. It's hard to point to a hero who would not take an Arcane Ring if one dropped in front of him. Like, it's a blessing from Gaben himself.
Yep. They're online. Right now, if you look at bait, they can pretty much fight. You could wait for the defusal on PL, but I think it's also flying out. Yeah, it's flying out. They have everything they need. I really thought that Viking GG would be able to pressure them more and harder. But bait, they've just defended so well from all of this aggression.
Yeah, you could see Viking, they were just going for that kind of strategic but typical move, right? You start bot and then you kind of push across the map, taking out the tier 1s. But absolutely, bait just committing so much to defending this mid area of the map. Now they'll be the ones to strike first. The DD on the Death Prophet, they might not even need to commit the exorcism. And last hero, he's going to blink straight in towards Cellar. He does see him. That turn rate makes it so hard for him to actually throw out the stun. Going to drag back.
Oh, Luna.
Reinforcements.
There's a
He goes
cast.
for him. Oh no, he gets the Eclipse out. 5-up goes into his death. He's going to go down. Now last hero needs to get away, but he's slowed down, hit up by the Spirit Vessel. Will fall. Fishman going to give his life. And Dendy coming in. He's going to suck a lot of life away, but with the Spirit Vessel on, it doesn't count for much. Now Chrysalis trying to charge him. While he does have a defusal, he's not very tanky. And Toby, he says, stack together, boys. We can take this one down. They'll bring him down. 4 dead on the side of bait. Dendy barely gets away with his own life. What a turnaround. That clip's coming out just in the nick of
Radiant's
time.
top tower is under
Man,
attack.
I'm not sure that's only the
Radiant
eclipse,
structures
you know?
are
It was the move itself. The move itself wasn't
Radiant's
that
middle tower
thought
is under
through. The
attack.
move itself was a bit greedy. You're pressuring the mid-tier 1. The Batrider is flying around the mid-tier 1
Radiant's
trying
middle
to
tower
get
has
that,
fallen.
you know, sneak pick off on the Invoker that's trying to defend with Tornado, with TMP. You could just do that instead. But you see the Vengeful taking your outpost, you try and go for the Vengeful that's so far away, and your teammates, they cannot connect. It's too far.
And now look at the cost. They know you have no Echo Slam. They know you have no Exorcism. They're trying to do the Roche. Tusk is stuck in the pit right now, and they're losing the army. So maybe they'll be deterred from actually continuing this. Decent defense coming out from Bay. They did have to stick Chrysalis here as well, though. He's not going to be happy about the fact he's away from creeps.
Oh,
Swap in, and it's backfired quickly. Last hero is just melted and gone. Fissure to try and interrupt, but the shards, they trap him in. Fishman has to go for the Death Ward play, but gets interrupted very quickly. And they actually catch Chrysalis. They're not going to chase for him, though. They just want to go back and get the bigger objective, which is the Aegis in the hands. They're probably Shad here.
Yeah, pretty much Batrider is the only reason they couldn't go into the pit easily, because he can always fly over, pull someone out. It's dangerous, right? Oh my god, Dandy?
They caught Dendy. He was trying to get the last hit with the Crypt Swarm, and instead, the only Crypt that's going to be built around here is one for Dendy.
What happened to them? Like, in the last 3 minutes, they've done more mistakes than in the whole game combined. They're shattering a little bit here, and it's a really bad time to shatter versus Viking GG, because their lineup is coming online completely. Yeah, they could have done a bit more earlier, but right now is as good as ever. Invoker?
Lasso, that's a good pick. Should slow down the aggression a little bit from Viking. No Invoker for 40 seconds.
This is what they need. They need to catch heroes off when Vengeful isn't around. A small mistake, but I would say by Venge, perhaps you should be next to the hero that's farming in the deepest position. That's always how you should be playing this position 5 Venge. Unless someone doesn't have a buyback or something like that, then you're running behind your carry. But if Invoker is so deep, I think you should be there.
I think it comes down to like the confidence when you play this type of draft, right? Like you mentioned how quickly it backfired for Bait, but that's the reality of these Luna drafts. It's why they're so popular right now, is your opponent makes one mistake and the amount you get out of it is absurd. You're talking a team fight at 1, then possibly a tower or 2. It's that lethal of a hero. So maybe they were like, oh, we don't need to play together because we just got Aegis and they won't want to fight us straight.
That's pretty much... that has always been the case, right? If you have a hero that can take objectives real fast, it's really good to have that hero on your team. Same goes for Lycan right now.
Hit up by the Spirit Vessel, Cold Snap as well, and he's gone.
One bad thing for Dandy in this game, and this Dead Prophet, is they don't have any ways of saving him. On the side of Viking, at least you have the Vengeful Spirit. On the side of Bait, you don't have any saves. You have counter initiation, that's true, but they're lacking any real saves.
Well, it's not just the Venge, right? Like, it's the Chen, he's got the heals, but then also, look at Aramis. You know, we talked about the Shaker's Blink Dagger. Guess what? Tusk is going to have one soon, and then you've got easy saves.
Witch Doctor? Fishman?
No one's going to save him. The Sunstrike, oh, he's too slow. But the Chen army will finish what the owner started.
I send you back to
the that was actually a very sad death to watch.
Yeah, that's very sad when you die to Chen army. It's not a great position to be in. But this lineup from Viking GG, man, they're just getting these small little items that buff them up so much. Like your mech on Chen, then your Vlad's that's coming up on Vengeful Spirit. Luna doesn't need a lot. Even the Lunar Blessing alone helps her team out immensely. On the other hand, you're just waiting for PL and his big spike.
Which is at least 10 more minutes away.
Radiant's bottom tower.
For the real PL, anyway.
10 is a bit harsh. Let's say Manta.
Alright. I'll give a credit where credit's due. He's farming well, but even once you got the Manta, that's great, but you don't feel confident until you're like 3rd item in, right?
They do have 2 amazing heroes when it comes to jumping in and eliminating targets. Bat and Shaker. Can they do it here?
Well, Shad's leading the way. I don't think that's the one I want to start with. And he's like, fine, just hit into me. I'm ready. I'll tank it all, boys. Smoke, consider wasted. Celery only has the level 1 swap, so it looks like they will be able to get away, though.
I mean, the smoke wasn't truly wasted because the smoke was used from Viking as well, right? So you had smoke on both sides. Both of these teams were trying to make stuff happen. Both of them kind of failed. I think if you're Viking,
Radiant's middle
you're
tower is under attack.
more upset about it because you do have that Aegis and you would really love to fight right now.
Yeah, whereas bait, now they can just reset, go to the out lanes, just try and keep things shoved out. You can already see that Shaker's going to try and shove this in a bit here, but Aramis, I mean, his pulse senses are tingling. He's expecting something out of his counterpart.
This is it. Batrider, you see him trying to go in.
Yep,
He's been
Celery
cut off.
knows is here.
He actually has to be careful. The swap could kill him. Wave into swap could kill him. There is a Shaker behind though.
You know what that was there, Liz? Did you see that last year he drew an 8 on the ground's Firefly? 8 symbol, just in case they actually got a kill.
This could be decent for them. Shaker is behind, Luna is not around, Aegis would expire anyway. I really think Viking, yeah, they're gonna fall back. They're gonna fall back. They understand Luna doesn't have Aegis anymore. Vengeful needs to play around her from now on to use that swap. It's a decent play from them to not push their limits.
Yeah, that tower's not really worth the risk. It rarely ever is.
By the way, this bloody Chen has a Greaves, man. The Greaves are completed, and he's had them for a while now. It's just ridiculous how much utility he brings to the team. The
It's going to be more as well.
Yeah.
Well,
Crazy.
like what? Yeah, you got the Frost Mage, you've got the attack speed from that Hellbear, which is, you know, it sounds like a small amount when you say 15 attack speed, but then that's everything in the army, that's everything around you, and then that Alpha Wolf as well, which has always been the classic creep that Luna wants when she builds Helm of Dominator.
The Alpha Wolf and the Frost Mage is what pains the most, I think. What hurts the most. The Frost Mage just destroys PL. Also is good versus DP, and the Alpha Wolf just buffs up Luna crazy well. So these two really help out. And there we have another smoke from Viking.
Yep, on the hunt, the line is drawn.
Scanning.
Looks like Toby's also going to go for the Glimmer Cape next.
I
I feel like I want to see drums, right? For how
I
the
don't care
lineup
what he
functions.
gets. They're so strong, man. Like they're so strong even with what they've got. Like when you look at these heroes and how much utility they have combined, and when you look at they don't even have an urn to work with. But they do have a lot of initiation potential though.
Let's see if they can make it happen. Viking have revealed themselves, but there's no vision there for bait, so they're going to scout with the PL illusions. It's been... Oh, wait, actually, they do have this ward down, so they saw it fully. It's just... The way that Viking are stacked is very hard for bait to move in. They need to see, like, 2 or 3 heroes together, otherwise 5 up can't really do enough.
Dire's top tower is under
The
attack.
BKB will be completed by Shad soon. He's like, what, 600 gold away, more or less. And it is a good timing, it is a good item to have, but still, if they manage to initiate on her and just constantly chain lock her with Shaker and Bat, I think they can take him down.
Speaking of that, he will force stuff away, but the slows are a bit debilitating. The magic missile is going to come out, and they need to chase forward, but the EMP coming out, last hero is gone. They're for 50. This should be the moment where bait just completely retreat, and Viking, they might finally be able to push in towards that tier 1 top.
I'm just sure bait can take a team fight. They just need to bait, no pun intended, Viking GG into sticking together so that Shaker can get a good echo off. You need to do something crazy, something stupid like Bat was just doing. Force them into attacking you, chasing you, because usually teams, when they chase, they cluster up together, and that's a perfect opportunity for 5 up to use this blink.
Yeah, there's that kind of funnel motion, that, especially when you think about the way that this lineup functions. You're going to have the Luna out front, and the rest are going to be following from behind. They're going to be clustered, and you want to reach that back line anyway. So maybe if you can find that. And you just look at the way they're all built, right? Like, we talked about the Chen, his type of build, it's all about supporting this Luna, keeping her up. You look at Boom's build, it's Solar Crest, it's about the Luna again.
Vlad's on the Vengeful, you know, Glimmer Cape completed on Chen. Tusk, what's he got? He has a Blink, going for the Lotus next, so a ton of utility on the side of Viking.
Always on guard for the Luna is the idea. Whereas Bait, I guess they have heroes that can act a bit more independently. You know, DD can be doing her own thing while PL on the other side
Yeah,
of
but
the fight.
they're just stuck together. That's the thing. This is
scared.
another smoke that they're gonna do. Yeah, they're scared because Batrider, when he tries to split push, he dies.
If they break
Rush is
smoke
up.
in the wrong place here, Viking,
Aran
yeah, Viking knows
smoked.
everything.
Oh, they can
And
kill
that
him
might
here.
cost him his, yeah, that's going to cost him his life. Greeley wanted to get some value out of the smoke, and now the swap across. Celery says, I want none of that. Last hero being brought down. Chrysalis, be stunned up. Now the turnaround. Therefore, is going to be coming out. Straight away, Tusk is already dead. Chop through. Shaq just trying to stand his ground and fight with the BKB activated. And Dendy, he can't hold up. He's going to fall. Dead for 50 seconds. The buyback from Tusk means they can hunt for more, but the War's Punch coming out. Chrysalis, he's trying to run away. In the meantime, they're going to take out Fishman. The Echo Slam 5 up. I mean, it's a beauty if you had any sort of follow-up, but you don't. You're going to lose everyone on the team but the Batrider. And that's just going to be
That's
another
Rush.
Roche towards Viking.
Yeah, that's just an easy rush for them. That fight, it started bad for Bait because Viking, they understand these moves. You can't 5-man smoke all the time. You need to keep your waves output. You need to show someone on the map so that they aren't as prepared for these movements. And you could see Tusk, he's hiding behind the trees there. He knows exactly what's happening. He's not there randomly. Then the Venge swap didn't work out that great. The Batrider did manage to survive a little bit longer. And the fight, to be honest, could have went worse for Bait because that Fissure protected the Witch Doctor. He was able to pump out full Death Ward, taking down the Tusk. But Shaker, he was without a Blink Dagger because he was forced to blink away from the Tusk that instantly, the moment he sees 5 up, he instantly snowballs that, forces him out of the fight. He doesn't allow him to counter-initiate.
Yeah, that's the kind of comparative between these two, right? Like, for a Shaker, if they're on top of you, you have no reset. So it's risky blinking. You need max value. For a Tusk, if you blink in and someone goes wrong, you've always got Snowball to buy time for reinforcements.
There's also the fact that they had this really good ward here on the cliff, right? When you're playing around... Yeah, it's nighttime, you're playing around your vision. That means so much. That means so much in any game. But in a game in which you're playing versus Batrider, Shaker, it's just even better.
And the way he uses tree line as well, right? Like, Batrider didn't have a way of instantly lassoing once he blinked through anyway, so there was no chance.
Yeah, this is the high ground push. There's the Fissure to try and delay it a little bit, but man, you're not...
Radiant structures
You have
You're not
to lasso.
stopping her from getting anywhere near these buildings. I mean, look at the range on this Luna. She has the Grove Bow plus the Dragon Lance.
And
it's about
you have
the
a
Venge.
Venge.
Yeah, it's about the Venge. That's what you're thinking about.
And they got Eclipse in 10 seconds, so if they bait this out correctly, they'll have it on the second life. It was quick. They've got the BKB and they've got the Eclipse. BKB, movement through, Silence comes out, Venge will back up a little bit, boom, chops them away so the PO can't munch away at them. They'll chase on through, just harass them away. It looks like Viking, they go, okay, you still got some fight left in you boys, we're going to back away, we're going to take a few more minutes to farm up items, come out and play with us when you're ready.
Yep, a small positioning mistake by Vengeful there. I think if you're a bit closer to the Luna, you definitely have an opportunity to swap her out, even after the lasso and force has been used. Sadly, I think Venge was a little bit afraid that they're gonna jump her instead, because sometimes teams do that. You know, if you can't hunt down the carry, you hunt down the Vengeful first, and then you go for the carry.
I love this from Viking though. Like, they fake back because they know that Bait feel confident at that point, right? They're going to try and get out of their base, and as a result, they lose the set of rats.
He's got Cheese as well on Luna, so it's not like he's unprotected. He's got Cheese, Greaves, Glimmer, Hand of God. Like, that's a lot of HP you need to burn through, and a Diffusal Manta ain't gonna cut it for PL.
Oh, well. They can maybe start getting pickoffs, they can make plays. Last hero is hesitant though.
Yeah, Butterfly is completed.
He's seen his allies die to that Chen army. He doesn't want to risk it. Instead, if the Chen swap out from Celery, he's got a secondary swap if need be. How does he want to use it? Cold Snap is there. Shaker gets caught out, and he's just got melts to the physical damage. And now the run forward. Witch Doctor is next to the hit list. He'll also fall. Chrysalis been pinged down. They know which one is the real one. With the Eclipse just bam alone into him, he's going to be brought down. 50 seconds dead, and now they can just go straight towards the base. Need to get those creeps first.
They have creeps pushing in on the top lane. So they could just go for the high ground and wait the creeps out. We'll see. I think they don't even need the creeps. Luna
no, they got them gone.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. They can go for Throne. 30
I think,
seconds without PL, or maybe just megas. It's the easiest
Radiant's
option,
middle
definitely.
barracks are under
yeah,
attack.
you say we'll be back later. You know how quickly you can delete these builds once the tier 3 tower goes down.
Batrider did a good thing. He prevented creeps from getting to the high ground. So because of that, maybe they can take another fight before the megas.
Well,
Well, they're gonna have to go before the PL is up. And, I mean, Shad just doesn't care. He's still got the BKB, he's still got the cheese. And look at Denny, he's almost dead. He needs to be careful. The EMP there, BKB comes out, but the right click is going to overwhelm him. He's down. 65 seconds without him. He did indeed. And as a result, now they don't even need to leave. Even after 60 seconds, Dendi has no real presence for the fight for another minute, as Exorcism is quite the long cooldown.
Hold on, boys. PL is gonna be online in like 10 minutes. We can do this.
No, he says
GG.
that's it. GG.
I was kidding. Yeah, it's just crazy how much utility Viking GG have got going for them in this game. And they didn't really start this game in a best way. You know, Luna was struggling on top, but they knew the moment Luna rotates towards the Chen, they'll start snowballing slowly and slowly. Snowball, and snowball out of control. There was an opportunity, though, around that tier 1 in which Bait could have taken control if they opted to actually go for more objective-based gaming instead of pickoffs. While Death Prophet was pushing mid, Batrider decided to go back into his own jungle to punish a Vengeful Spirit that's taking an outpost. They got wiped there. They got wiped there because they were playing without vision and they were separated completely. So that Echo and that Lasso, they were alone. If you don't have follow-up to that, it's kind of wasted. So um, I
Well,
still
not only
think that
that.
this is a very difficult draft to play against.
Yeah.
I really it really comes down to that. Even though they had really good lanes on the side of Bait.
It definitely felt a bit rough because you mentioned that fight, right? That was the big reveal fight. That was that blink dagger we were hyping up. It was like, this is a really good time. This is going to be huge for them. But I think the best way to summarize that second half of the game from Bay is everything was just discombobulated, right? I didn't feel like they got together to make a play as a team past that attempt. It was always trying to salvage things that went wrong. And the one time they do like 10, 15 minutes later is that smoke towards the top dire jungle, which completely backfires. And from that point on, it's just clean cut for Viking. Means that they do take the first game. I mean, where do we fix this? Like, what is the biggest issue with Bait? Do you think it does come down to how they played as 5 together? Or is the bigger deal what you said, where like they just didn't go for the right objectives after the initial success?
There's a little, there's a few mistakes that I would, not mistakes, let's just call it issues. One big issue is this Chen. He brings too much utility to the side that has a Luna and a Vengeful as well. Uh, I think you might need to ban out one of these three, or all of them. You know, just ban out the Zoo, because you're playing versus Chen Luna Venge. Luna with 10k net worth is 10 times scarier than PL with 10k net worth. You know, that's the biggest issue. And this Batrider who dominates the lane can't really do a lot later on because he's playing versus a Vengeful. What was it Bait yesterday that had a very similar problem versus a Nyx with Batrider? Someone had it. So if you're playing this bet, make sure that he has a really good game if you're putting so many resources into him.
Yeah, I think it was Bait that actually had the Knicks. So yeah, they had this kind of understanding of what you can do with those heroes, that situation. But this is only game 1. You know, this was a very dominant show from Viking, but it would be fair to say that they got everything, including the cherry on top of the cake when it came to the draft. Hopefully, Bait rectify that in game 2. Maybe even Viking forget about the Monkey King for a moment, and we could end up in a third game. Anything could happen here, but we're going to hit up a short break, and when we're back, we'll have the second draft on your screen.